This TikToker faked a eating disorder, Tourette's, and would also tell other people on her TikToks to go and harm themselves when she finally got called out for her actions. In this case, being one of the most horrific TikTokers that has ever been on the platform.
This is why people are called posers. This is why people gatekeep right here.
Now she is nowhere to be seen, completely vanished after being exiled and called out for her horrific actions.
I just buy whatever I can afford because it's my special interest.
We're going to deep dive into the whole story of this TikToker and who she is straight after the comment shout out. And that goes to Zoe L. Thank you for your comment. If you guys want to shout out in the next video, make sure to leave a comment down below saying, "Ablaze, I jumped on the bell button." Damn. And I'll pick one of you for a shout out in the next video. So who is this TikToker that I'm referring to? Her name on TikTok was Nicobite, but to be honest with you, she also went by Bunny, and to be honest, that's what I'm going to be calling her for the rest of the video. So it says here online that Bunny was born in 2004 with a popularity on famous birthdays being at 149,791. It also states in the About section, TikTok personality, known for Harajuku-inspired fashion, dance, and content. They use neo pronouns. They are known by the nickname Bug. Their TikTok account was deactivated or banned, but their old videos have been reposted by fan accounts. Before fame, they got a range of piercings. And something to note as well, also on the famous birthdays, it says here, family life, they identified as autistic, which, to be kind of honest to you, is ridiculous. Autism isn't exactly something that you can just identify as and then suddenly have. I'm sure most of you will agree with me on that one, as that is just absolutely ridiculous. Back in 2021, apparently Bunny wasn't getting enough attention over on TikTok because she was posting your typical type of TikTok videos in the beginning, dancing to music while dressed up, usually in more anime kind of emo style dressing, until one day she decided to make some TikToks claiming the fact that she has one, an eating disorder, and second, and this would be the one that would be her downfall, having Tourette's. It seems to be a very common trend over on TikTok, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, of people trying to boost and elevate their viewership and followers by claiming to have a disorder that they don't simply have. We've seen this countless times on this channel especially, and while unfortunately it does work, it always comes back to bite them in the butt. Every time, the truth always seems to come out. And in this case, she tried to spread this fake narrative for people to feel bad for her. And we'll come back to this because it gets a hell of a lot deeper. But before we do, I want to just quickly also mention the fact of some of the other issues that Bunny did. That she got accused of Asian fishing, which is where you always try and change your race to look like a different race. In this case, obviously, that being Asian. Bunny did this in a whole wide range of ways, one of those being makeup, trying to change the shape of her eyes with the makeup that she used. Another example is of this screenshot right here from one of Bunny's live streams. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm only bringing this up because it was made to be such a big deal. While I'm not saying she's a good TikToker, I gotta be honest, I find this as evidence to rather be a little bit silly. She could be simply just wiping her eye, but like I said, in all the videos and the research that I've done on this TikToker, this is one of the things that got brought up a lot. But with it not being attached to any type of video, I think it's hard to go around accusing someone from this image alone personally. Something where there is a lot more proof is the abusive messages that Bunny would post. Fans would seamlessly try to reach out to Bunny, telling her what an inspiration she is to them. For some reason, I don't know, this is apparently inspirational content.
Some of you guys ask, what do you call a non-binary person? You call them by their name.
Fair enough. While doing so, Bunny wouldn't always respond in the way perhaps they were imagining. I guess with the old saying, never meet your idols, especially not this one. As some of the stuff that she would reply back with is kind of disgusting, and I don't see this as being satire or generally her sense of humor, but is quite an off-putting trait to have as a person. The reason why I can say that I don't think it's part of her sense of humor as well is it just seemed quite off-brand in some regards, with some of the slurs being certain words that I can't even repeat here on YouTube. Otherwise, I would be demonetized quicker than you can say bunny, and I don't really want that. Some of the more tame stuff would generally be stuff like KYS and also literally die, which again is quite an odd response to have for your fans. Just imagine if one of you followed me on Instagram and just said, Ablaze, I like your videos. Firstly, I would appreciate that massively, but secondly, I don't think I would respond with literally die. Very odd behavior if you ask me. Another thing that Bunny did quite poorly as well is she seemed to beg online for money, for donations, which actually isn't that uncommon. I see this all the time with certain content creators. Some, I certainly see it being justified with certain content creators really spending a hell of a lot of time on their content. Hell, there's some YouTubers that make some absolutely astonishing content and it's amazing, and they have a Patreon because they don't upload frequently enough to survive on the money that YouTube is providing with them. For those cases, it's totally justified, but in Bunny's case, doing a TikTok dance, I don't really see as being a full-time profession. It's not really tangible content, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that she made it as big as she did. With that being said, she claimed that she was poor with one of the other things that Bunny liked to state, which was kind of silly because obviously in her background of her videos, you could clearly see that in Bunny's room, the amount of clothes that she had was extortionate. So many nice clothes, nice pairs of shoes, hundreds of belts, and even this Discord message in which she brags about paying for a $200 plane ticket for someone that she only knew for a month. All this type of behavior really indicates the fact that I don't think Bunny is poor. She might not be a millionaire or extremely well off, but being poor, I just don't really see how that computes when this is literally your bedroom. Although apparently one of the things that she bragged about over on TikTok was the fact that she had a sugar daddy and the fact that all her clothes were actually brought by older men. Cool. Is that supposed to be some kind of flex or something? Because honestly, that is disgusting. Especially considering her age. She wasn't exactly the oldest herself. And if that is true, that is certainly not a flex. And then bragging about the plane ticket as well. You know, the more I deep dive into this TikToker, it really makes me scratch my head on why she was so popular. Not nice to her fans, lying to them about being poor, and then yes, let's get back to the whole faking disorders. Now, one of the things that Bunny did actually have is dyslexia. That has been confirmed. Part of her family actually started speaking out on behalf of her, giving us an inside look on what Bunny actually had. Now, it's nice when this actually happens because, like the case with Ticks and Roses, we can get a little bit of an inside scoop on what they actually have. And you know what? I think especially with something like Tourette's, it's incredibly important. I always struggle to make these certain videos calling people out with Tourette's. As you guys know, I have head tics, and there's certain indicators that you can see when someone says that they have Tourette's that just appears to be off. Those things being tensing your neck before the actual twitch, overplaying for the camera massively. One of my favorite ones that I've seen a lot is when they line up their tics perfectly with music. Sure, all of these can be massive red flags, but really at the end of the day, it's incredibly hard to actually tell. And I'm sure a lot of people can agree. People that probably have Tourette's as well. Let me know in the comments, I'm curious. But with something like this being so vast and different for everyone, someone like Bunny could have Tourette's and I would never know. This is one of the TikToks though in which Bunny claimed that she had Tourette's. But let's open up that message from her dad. Dyslexia is her only diagnosis, to which the person who was asking the father replied with, "Oh, because they claimed that they have severe autism and they would tic." I'm not sure if you know what that is, but it's a thing autistic people do and film it and post it and claim they were autistic. I don't think every single autistic person films for TikTok. Certainly the people that actually have it. They even claimed they go to a special ed school, which may be true, I'm unsure. The father replies with too many lies to sort through, which is kind of a very bizarre thing to reply back with. I don't think there was that many things to necessarily go through to confirm. But judging by the first message of dyslexia is their only diagnosis, I'm going to take a little bit of a swing in the dark and assume that they don't have Tourette's. With apparently the father being quite shocked about this because these are also some of the other messages that they said. I'm also wondering, were they ever lying about being poor? Because they had stated that they barely have any money to eat and are begging people to buy them clothes. They replied back with saying, not true, and then also saying, I want to vomit. Which is incredibly sad, I suppose, for the dad to find out this way what his daughter has been doing over on TikTok, and must be deeply saddening. Imagine raising a kid that you obviously love, and then people online are trying to track you down, and you just get this message telling you all the horrific things that your daughter is doing online. I feel incredibly bad for the father at this point. They replied back saying, I honestly feel like there's more, but unfortunately since they have privated their account, I'm unavailable to see anything else. That's really horrible. So how many people have sent them money because they thought they were literally on the streets? So again, it kind of comes back to the people donating and why you should always be very careful to the people that you're donating to. Like, for example, should you donate to someone that looks like this?
You listed one alternative artist.
Probably not. Stating that they are poor while having a bedroom like this. Again, probably not. Despite all these messages though, they seem to have doubled down with the TikToks that they were making. Someone left a comment saying, bruh, stop, you're literally making fun of people with actual special needs. And then this is what she replied with a TikTok video saying this.
I go to special ed school. I'm special needs.
In my humble opinion, really not taking the situation very serious. I think it's absolutely disgusting that someone like this, with the type of audience they have, can go around creating TikToks mocking people with certain disorders to get a little bit of fame. But we see this so often and it's still happening. It's no surprise at this point that her TikTok account has obviously been taken down. Now, why it's certainly unclear to see how many followers she exactly had, because I can't seem to find that. I'm sure it's probably in the few hundred thousands. One of the things that we haven't even mentioned in today's video yet is the fact of her eating disorder. What about that? While I can't seem to find the original source in which she said that she had that, I do have these messages in which people called her out on that also. She replied with saying stuff like this, I don't even have an ED, that was a joke, G, question mark, KYS. What kind of a response is that? Now, it's so bad, in fact, all of this drama, because there was even a thread over on TikTok breaking down every single thing that they did. There's also way worse things that they have done that honestly, unfortunately, I just can't show in this video because some of the messages, there would be no point. I would have to blur it out and I can't even repeat it. Overall, just a disgusting TikToker that should have done a better job, especially with the number of fans that she had. Not even being nice to her own fans and claiming to have autism, an ED, and then also faking Tourette's is shameful because it causes so many issues for people that actually suffer with these things on a day-to-day basis. People that actually have Tourette's. I've seen plenty of videos discussing the very real effects it has when people fake this stuff and just turn it into a colossal joke.
PSA about faking Tourette's. Hi, I'm Carly. And I have Tourette syndrome. I am not a fraud, but because of those lovely few people out there who have fake Tourette's, on every single one of my videos, I get a bunch of freaking hate. And all I'm trying to do is raise awareness and break the stigma that surrounds this awfully misunderstood disorder. But on almost, I got rice. But on almost every one of my videos, I get a comment saying, fake, this doesn't seem real. Or the worst ones are, I don't know who to believe now that I've seen Ticks and Roses. Because of people like Ticks and Roses, I am fake claimed in numerous videos. Thanks, Ticks and Roses.
It actually impacts real people because now you have people going around the internet not believing people. And to a certain extent, you can't particularly blame them. Maybe their favorite content creator was this person and they got caught lying. But to go around just saying it to anyone can be quite hurtful and really upset a lot of people. But her being at the young age that she is, I'm really hoping that she has learned from her mistakes. Also, I'm glad that her parents did find out. I'm glad that her TikTok got taken down, and I hope these are all being life lessons to her. I know this story is from a little while ago, but it's quite fitting here on this channel. I always think people can learn and grow from their experiences and always deserve a second chance. Also, who knows, she might not even be like this anymore after having some time to reflect. But just goes to show, even people with a large following can also be quite dodgy and seem to have no morals. With that all being said though, I hope you guys did enjoy this breakdown of this TikToker in today's video, and I hope you guys are still enjoying this type of content. If you are and you want to see more, certainly subscribe. I try to upload once every 2 days, and I would love to see you guys stick around. With that all being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic day though, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.